Hello there, miners and crafters. Dandolf here. So I was doing some tree farming, and I figured you guys don't really know everything that I have going on in my world here. So I figured I'd give you a quick rundown on what is going on here with this with this setup. So it's a fairly easy setup, and once again, I like to figure things out for myself. So I figured this out for myself. So I'm sure there's better ways to do this, but you know, as it goes. It works pretty well for me, and it gets me the wood that I need. This works for the single trees, so it works for the oak trees, it works for the birch, it works for the acacia trees, and I'm not sure if it works for jungle or not. I haven't actually tried it. I just don't need a lot of jungle wood. So basically what we have going on here is, let me go ahead and get prepped up a little bit. So we've got a pressure plate here that runs a redstone signal here to the first piston. This will power both of these pistons. Then, as you can see, there's just a very simple redstone line going all the way up to the top of this. I just staircase it up with these slabs and then push it straight into the pistons in the back. So that's what's giving all of these pistons power when I step on this pressure plate. I'll give you a demonstration here. So as you can see, all the pistons, I step on it, all the pistons come out at the same time. That's exactly what we want. So if we look over on this side, I've just got a small little pulse clock here. It's just, a little something to get my bone meal firing. So let me go ahead and just fill that up a little bit more than I have here. Let me just get it all the way to the brim. There we go. Put the rest of my bone meal in here. And then basically what we're going to want to do is flip this lever very quickly to get as fast as a pulse going around here. So on off. Beautiful. So then that starts trying to fire off the bone meal. Don't worry, it's not using any when it can't. The tick does get a little bit annoying, but it's just part of the game. So what you do is you put your sapling down here, and then it'll automatically be bone mealed, and then that tree will grow up. Once that tree grows up, smash on the pressure plate, put another sapling down. So the idea is, when you're tree farming, this is much easier than running around chopping down all the random trees that you see, or putting one tree, bone mealing it, and then it's just a lot faster, and then it makes chopping the wood a lot easier in the long run, because you're not trying to fight with all the leaves, you're not trying to fight with everything else. Basically, you can just get straight to chopping and knock these trees down super fast. Sometimes this does happen. They can take a little bit because you get all the leaves in there, and it just doesn't have as much room to grow with the cap on it. So sometimes you do just kind of have to wait it out, and it will take a little bit of bone meal. But that's pretty easy to get considering I have a mob farm and a skeleton grinder. So that bone meal comes pretty quick. Some of these trees go faster, some of them go slower. But ultimately, what I usually do is I will run it until it gets all the way out. Full of trees until the pistons no longer can push them. I think it's, I don't know, it's a pretty decent amount, 10 or 15 trees, somewhere in that range. But yeah, whenever I need oak or birch or anything like that, this is the method that I definitely use. You can also upgrade this if you want to. Like if you really want to, get this going, you could upgrade this to where all these ones that are getting pushed out here hit another row over here, and then the pistons push them further and get yourself a nice block of wood. But it's just, this works pretty well for me. I don't really need more than that. I'm just going to run up to the bed real quick. I don't really need more than that. This works as well as I need it to. And in most cases, it's not really an issue not having the extra wood push out. Yeah, so basically I'm going to let this one grow up, then we'll turn the system off, and then we'll chop this wood down. But yeah, this gives you a good idea of, a simple contraption that you can build that doesn't take a lot of redstone skill, that gets you, your wood farming to a much easier level here. So now that we've got that one, I'm going to go ahead and turn this clock off. Again, I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but that's just the way that I do it. So you get your axe, and then chopping the wood down is super simple, super fast. Now I can get basically almost a whole stack of wood just right here, very quickly, very easily, without any trouble dealing with the leaves, without having to, go back and forth between items too much. It saves a lot of time. It saves a lot of effort. And then, that's what this machine is. So if anybody wants a tutorial on actually how to build this, we could do that. Or if anybody wants to see any upgrades to this, let me know, and we can definitely get that going. So just kind of let me know your thoughts on this guy, and we can keep it running. But yeah. So as you can see, we are in my survival world. I don't really play any sort of creative. I don't even test things in creative. I like it to just go straight into my world and start trying to build it. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I know sometimes everybody always says build your redstone contraptions in creative mode and then rebuild it in survival. But a lot of times what happens is, because I'm playing on a server, the rules don't exactly work 100% the same way as they do in a single player world. So I never ever really put anything into a creative world. I don't even think I have a creative world right now. It's just not something that I do. I like, seeing it and being able to play with it and tweak it in my actual world. And then if it fails, I tear it down and I try again. And that's just kind of the way it goes. Sometimes it does that and sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, so that's the tree farm. Again, if anybody wants to see any upgrades to this or wants to see a tutorial on how to build this simple contraption, just let me know, and we'll get it done. All right, guys. Well, thanks for stopping by. This is my tiny little tree farm. I call it a poor man's tree farm, and yeah. So have a good one. See you later.